Alright, what's good? Welcome back to another perspective video. The topic of discussion is the 2017 NRL season. I'll pretty much be predicting my top 8, my dark horse team, aka the team to watch, who I think would get the wooden spoon, the Dally Player of the Year, and obviously who I think would win the premiership. So we'll start off with the top half of the 8. In the top 4 I've got the Storm, Raiders, Cowboys and the Warriors. I think the Storm, Raiders and Cowboys will be in for a good year. As for the Warriors, like I said in previous vids, every year they have a decent team on paper, but they always seem to underperform. A lot of it has to do with their forward pack being inconsistent, and also with Shaun Johnson. For a couple of years now, he's been the sole playmaker for the team, and if he's not firing on attack, it's like the whole team falls apart. This year it's the same story with them. On paper they've got one of, if not the best spine in the comp, with Isaac Luke, Kieran Foran joining the squad, Shaun Johnson and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck returning from injury. I think Foran will fit in perfectly at the Warriors. Him being there to help steer the ship will take a load off of Shaun Johnson's back. So they have the talent in the backs. All it comes down to now is consistency from their forwards so they can lay that platform for their backs to do their thing. As for the rest of the 8, in 5th I've got the Broncos, 6 I've got the Sharks, Roosters at 7, and the Panthers to round out the 8. Honestly, it's going to be super competitive this year. I think it's going to be super close from 5th to 12th. As a Broncos fan, I'm not too sure how we'll go this year. Our last tackle options last year were pretty average in my opinion. Although Hunt helped us get to that grand final a couple of seasons ago, I still don't rate him as a player, or I should say I don't rate him as a halfback. Hopefully he can turn it around this year, because the whole time he's been playing halfback, he still hasn't developed a long range kicking game. Like I said, from 5 to 12 is going to be super close I reckon. Teams like the Bulldogs, the Rabbitohs, the Eels, I think will be close to the 8 also. I could honestly talk about this for hours, but we'll move along here. Alright, we've got contenders for the wooden spoon. I've got 2 teams in mind. I was thinking between the Knights and the Dragons, but I'm going to go with the Knights. And for obvious reasons, they're just going through a rebuilding phase right now. And yeah, I don't see them winning many games this season. Alright, my dark horse team, I'm going to go with Penrith Panthers. Gus has built quite the roster there. They've got a lot of depth in all positions. I'm expecting Cleary to have a good year, and I think this will be Tyrone Peachey's breakout year, and he'll possibly earn a spot on the Blues bench. That's just my opinion though. But yeah, like I was saying, the depth that they have at the Panthers is pretty crazy. It could be a good thing. There's going to be some sort of competitive nature within the Penrith club, forcing players to step their game up for a starting spot. Alright, lastly, I'm going to give my tip for the Dally Player of the Year. This is a tough one. There's so many good players to choose from, but I'm going to be a little biased here and go with my boy Milf, Anthony Milford. I'm also going to be biased and tip the Broncos to take out the premiership this year. Back to the Dally I'm tipping Milford of course, but there's a few other players who I think would have a pretty good year. A fit and injury-free James Tedesco I think will be pretty solid. The JTs, Jonathan Thurston and Jason Taumalolo. Cronk as always will have another good year. Interested to see Valentine Holmes at fullback. I think an injury-free Blake Austin will have a massive year, and I'm expecting Jared Hayne to return to form. I honestly won't be surprised if he takes out the Player of the Year also. But yeah, like I said, I could go on and on, but yeah, that's gonna do it for this perspective video. Drop that like button if you enjoyed, and as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.